To all my people in the Cape Town region, is it possible for us to be buying real estate at a discount in a country, or should I say in a town, where real estate is always at the prime because of the beautiful sceneries that we see in the land of Cape Town, the motherland they call it? I've been buying real estate in and around Cape Town, particularly for student accommodation. And a lot of people have said to me in the past, especially when I was coming up in real estate, TJ, you can't find anything that is profitable in Cape Town. And I was like, really? And I went on to investigate. And today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a deal. And this is behind the scene of how I actually get to investigate some of my deals like this. And you can potentially do the same as well. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is TJ, your host, and I'm a former banker and founder here at the TJ Tribe. And I do business with a focus in student accommodation, flips, which is buy and sell, and coaching, with the hope that all of us, as young, upcoming modern parents, we can be able to have passive income from real estate. Welcome to the channel. This is a biggish deal. I want to reinforce that. This is about 40 units. So this is not a deal for anybody. I do think that it's not an everyday deal, but I want to say to you, my good friends, at some point, if you are buying a unit, a house, for those of you who play Monopoly, and who's been following great people, who's been like around us, or I should say that the people whom we stand on the shoulders of, like the likes of Robert Kiyosaki, who came up with the game cash flow, and it also comes out of the other game which is called Monopoly, and it basically talks about when you are buying, you're buying one unit, one house, and then bingo, an 8 unit, bingo, a 10 unit, bingo, a 20 unit, and bingo, 40 units. So from time to time, I am always stretching myself in terms of how best I can get into bigger deals. And there is big deals in and around us, to as far as, I think the highest I've ever seen is around about 55 units in one block of flats. The highest I have done personally is about 39 units. I've owned a block of flats before of that magnitude. I had to sell it, unfortunately, just after COVID, and my heart was broken. But I'll come back. But today is not about my sorrows. It is about talking about a deal that we can close here. Now, what is this deal? Because today it's a Saturday and we get to dive into behind the scene, I wanted to share with you that as and when you're doing these deals, and if you're not willing to, I want to say, to business develop. And when I'm talking about business developing, what do I mean by that? You're going to have costs in real estate. And many people do not mention this to you. When you are looking for opportunities, there is a cost. Cost of looking for opportunities. Let me say that again. There is cost of looking for opportunities. There is cost for closing a deal. I'm still talking about the 40 unit that we're talking about here. So what are some of those costs that I had to incur for me to be able to close this 40 unit block of flats? Well, my good friends, I do want to introduce to you the 40 unit block of flats in Cape Town, and I've been working on this opportunity for the last maybe about a year and a half. And a good friend of mine who happens also to be one of our VIP clients here at the TJ Tribe, they're subscribed to the channel, and they sent out to me a deal. I've done a couple of deals to them. They're probably number 3 in our VIP list. They buy quite a lot of stuff with us. And they reached out to me and says, TJ, there's something here. A good friend of mine that they do wine with, they puza together, is disposing some of his assets. and he's got a 40 unit block of flats. I am not ready to buy anything. Would you be interested? Power of network. Power of network. I'm not in Cape Town. As you know, I am residing in Johannesburg at this time of shooting this video. And who knows, we might have a house in Cape Town, the Lord willing. And with that, I started looking into the deal, and I think we have done a video here on how to do numbers. So I'm not going to repeat that. You can jump on into that video. We'll pin it right to the end, and also in the comments on how to do numbers on a deal. And basically, you just need to add zeros, more zeros, or more of the number of the units that you're having, and then you can do that. So, where do I start from this deal? It's 40 units. I get the phone call. I get the detail. The first thing that I ask is the address. Because remember, for me in Cape Town, there's nothing else that I do in Cape Town other than student accommodation. And on top of that, the holiday season, I then do what is called Airbnb. So 2 strategies that I deploy in the mother city. With that, I looked at the address and I'm like, whoo, great address. And I then looked at the unit per price. Price per unit was sitting at around about 650,000 for a 2-bed, 1-bath. Oh my God. Like literally, oh my God. You don't get anything. I haven't seen anything in Cape Town less than R1 million. That is going to give you something meaningful. Like I haven't seen. And I'm thinking 40 units. Oh, TJ, you need to move fast, right? So anyways, I dig into the deal, and eventually I called back and I said, look, I'm interested. Who then do I need to reach out to? And she gave me the owner of the deal, and I spoke to the owner of the deal, and he says to me, yes, he is keen. It's a block of flats that he been building very slowly, but he's tired. Tired means that he's elderly now. He wants to retire. This was going to be one of his last projects, but it just took a bit of time because the planning took a bit of time. All of those nice and fish cakes things, well, doesn't really matter to us. But the point is, he's now selling. So he was selling at 650. On top of that, if you had to calculate 650, my good friends, 650,000, divide that by 40 units, 40, that's going to get you to 26 million rand. There you go. 26 million rand is what he was asking for. So for Cape Town prices, this is already at a humongous discount. Okay? He further on says to me, TJ, if you are serious on this deal, I am going to give you a couple of things. I haven't finished building, but you can come and see for yourself. There's small little things that are left out, but these are some of the other small things that really make it the place habitable. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm listening. And he says to me, I will knock off for you 6 million. Whoa. You knock off 6 million? This is a nice deal. So I'm like, okay, so if he's knocking off 6 million, 20 million, that's now what is now the new price. Divide by 40, which is now the agreed price. And my good friends, the new price per unit is now whopper 500,000. Guys, you have to appreciate, if you know what you know about Cape Town, and now you are seeing these numbers. This is shocking numbers. You want to go and do this. So I immediately then started jumping on. Like I said, I've been working on it with over a year and a half. So which basically means that within this year and a half, I haven't been able to close it. Right? So today we're going to talk about what then happened for me not to be able to close it with this 1 year and a half. And we can see at the end today within this video that have I closed it or not. I'm excited to be sharing with you. So that's the context of how we got to the price of the 40 units. I didn't have 20 million. So I'm like, okay, who of our VIP clients can I reach out to who has this kind of money? And I remembered somebody else on our database. And when I'm saying database, basically is there is a link that you can send your details and we will call you and verify you. And basically this is the link which says www.thetjtribe.com/myflip. And this client had sent us a request. They are from overseas, originally from South Africa, and they said to us they had some money. They were looking at buying a hotel at the time, and they had seen some of the stuff that we're doing, and they wanted to get into the student accommodation space. And at the time, they said they had 10 million. So I thought, well, if they've got 10 million, I'm sure this is like 50% close to the deal, right? I'm sure they could find the other 10 million, Let me just call them. I gave them a call and I said to them, look, I'm working on a deal, and this is what happens when you're a VIP. You get to know some of the deals that I'm working on before the deals happen, right? And I said to them, this is the deal that we're working on, and seeing that you're buying a hotel, hotels and student accommodation neck on neck. It's like a 6 and a 9. The difference is settled. And over and above that, you'll be able to do 100 students on here. And with your 100 students, your gross income for 2025 is 4,000. Yes, 4,700 gross income, right? Per annum then plays out to 4,700,000. Now they're buying it. 20 million. They get excited. My friends, and they're like, TJ, whatever it is, we want in the deal. It's a good deal for us. I had some pictures that I got, and I then obviously sent them to them at the time, and we then started doing what is called due diligence, diving in deeper. Diving in deeper. Yeah. When the next time someone asks you what does DD means, diving in deeper. No, I'm joking. It's due diligence. All right, cool. We had a couple of promises. Within those promises, we took a mandate, obviously, to facilitate the deal, and now we're good. Bearing in mind, I am Johannesburg based, so I need to fly out to Cape Town to see this deal for me. Couple of promises that I just want to put out as a disclaimer, and we then took this deal seriously in our office. The first one is that the seller was ready to sell. He reached out to us, and we contracted it, and we put it on contract, and we had a buyer, and they were ready to buy. So first promise was that the seller is ready to sell. So it's a deal already. It's a deal. The second one is that he promised, the seller that is, promised to give the buyer what is called early access, because they understood where the year is, and they also understood what student accommodation is, because they are in the student accommodation. They also promised to say they'll finish off the reno. So they're cutting off the 6 million, and they will give the buyer early access so that they can finish off the reno. That's reasonable. The buyer haven't even asked. I'm like, this guy is good. Anyway, let's go along. They also then promised a 4-month contract for security, because they had paid for the security anyways. And they said there was going to be security on the premises for the next 4 months, just to make sure that whatever that is on the property is going to be documented, and the same security company is going to be accountable for that. Generous. Yeah. Very generous. Very generous. Now to my buyer. The buyer then says to me, they are good for the deal and they've got the cash available. Promises on both sides. Yeah. I jumped into, this is now winter, our last winter. And I said, should I go to Cape Town now? Should I go later? Should I go now? Should I go later? Ping pong, ping pong. Should I go now? Okay, let me go. This is a good deal. If I close this deal, we'll be able to manage 100 beds that we didn't have before. Should I go now? Go. Right. So I decided to jump into my kit, and I said, babe, please can you pack all my long johns, because we're going to Cape Town. Cape Town has no mercy for a guy like me who is always in summer in Johannesburg. So all long johns and all jackets needs to come with. Pack my stuff. And I then traveled to Cape Town, and I traveled with the guys that were the airliner that was funding the bookies during the World Cup, Fly Surf Air. Is there anyone who gets confused by pronouncing Fly Surf Air? I get confused all the time. Like now I had to practice before I said it here, like Fly Surf Air. Yeah, I think I get it right. Why didn't they choose something else? Like, I don't know. Like I was going to mention the previous other Kulula. You know, that was easy, rolled on the tongue. I wonder what happened to Kulula. I used to like him. They were funky. But anyway, Fly Surf Air, good. I enjoy flying with them all the time. I've flown with them to Harare. I've flown with them to Bulawayo. I've flown with them in and around South Africa. They're good. Hey, but they're not paying me to talk about this. I'm just saying that, you know, I went out to Cape Town with Fly Surf Air. Right. That's all I'm saying. Right. Now, when I traveled with them, the cost of the flight was on me, and the cost was around about 4,000 at the time. 2,000 going, 2,000 coming back. TJ, you overpaid. This is a budget, ne? Right. Some of you are like, yeah, TJ, you know, I can fly to Cape Town for 800. Yeah, I know you can, but this is a budget, ne? Budget, we're wanting to travel as we want to travel, not when the prices are low, then we travel. This is business. So anyways, 4,000, bingo, we went to Cape Town. And obviously, as you know, I don't have a house in Cape Town. So what did I need to do? I had to book an Airbnb. Airbnb, 1,000 rand a pop. I stayed there for 2 days, and that is 2 grand. 4,000 plus 2 grand. We are now at what? 6,000, right? And I needed a vehicle to get me by. So another, let's just call it 1,000, right? Ended up a little bit more because of my travels, but let's just say 1,000. And then obviously I needed some chow, food to eat, and yeah, another 1,000. So we're all in at around about 8,000 rand. I am going to Cape Town to just fulfill the due diligence, and my good friends, this is some of the minimum bare costs. I am not talking about the opportunity of me not going to Cape Town and doing business, which I could easily say, hey, maybe my day's rate is maybe 2,000 rand. So 2,000, my hour's rate is, not my day's rate, my hour's rate is, let's say, 2,000 rand. So for that reason, if I am with 2,000 rand an hour, if I stay, I'll be able to make 2,000 rand a day. But if I go, so that means that I am potentially wanting to make 2,000 rand. So that's a cost as well, right? So for 48 hours, I'm out of my business. So 2,000 times 48, that's an additional cost that we need to add. Does it make sense? Okay, good. Makes sense. Right. Nonetheless, so I then fly to Cape Town and I went to see the property. And bingo, my friends, I'm going to show you now what we saw. And this is exciting. We will come back a little bit later and I'll tell you where are we with the deal. What have we done? Excited to coming back and show you right now. Okay, so there's the full property at a side view. Okay, going through all the way. It's in a cool, quiet neighborhood. Across the road there is another student res. go. The red and white one. Okay, so this is unit type number 1. As you walk in, there is one unit here, and you can see there is your kitchen, nicely put, and you can be able to go outside. You can see we're in the basement, and there's this door here, and this door leads as a fire door. It leads into the garage. Okay, and with that, we are going to go upstairs. Upstairs, beautifully done. And to my left is bathing room. It's like a guest bathing room. See it here. There we are. And we're coming into room number 1. So it's covered there. And bingo. So this here will fit one bed. Going outside and coming through from the unit. Beautiful. This unit here, so there's couples here already put in. And there is bathroom. You can do 2. Okay, cool. And moving downstairs. Out. See what outside looks like. And then we go outside. Bingo. We are on the sidewalks of the building. Okay. Some more work that needs to be done. And this is unit type number 1. Then we're going to go into unit number 2. Okay, so this is unit type 2, which is a 3-bed. Let's walk in. Kitchen look alike, and instead of the dining, there's the kitchen, and instead of us having the garage on the side, there is actually a room. On the other units, this is a garage, but this is a garage. So this is bedroom number 1. It already has its wardrobe here and a toilet on there. Shower already installed. Cool. And upstairs. So we've got bedroom 1 downstairs, and going upstairs to my right, and another bedroom here. Okay, this bedroom here, 1 unit, and going that side. Bedroom 3. It's got its own space already, like that. Alright. And that's it. That's what it looks like. Go back. Bingo! You are back, my good friends. Welcome back. You saw that the deal is an amazing deal. I think it's cool. It's a colorful building, and I'm all in now to say we are good to go with this deal. I apologize for disrupting this hot conversation, but I just wanted to make sure that I remind you of why we exist here at the TJ Tribe. My good friends, it is our mission here at the TJ Tribe to ensure that every modern family earns what we call alternative income using real estate. And if that is you, you've been wondering how you can start or how you can scale, I have a solution for you. The solution is simply visit our website. You'll see it coming through here. And the website is www.thetjtribe.com, and click on where it says book your discovery call. When you do that, actually, my friends, it does not cost you anything at all to book that slot. So no strings attached. Jump onto that website, and either myself or one of my team members will be able to help you on your next steps. So don't be that family, the one that is being left out in creating alternative income. Because from creating alternative income, that's when you can be able to create wealth a little bit later. And above that, that's when you can be able to create what we call legacy. So what are you waiting for? If you're not going to do it for yourself, I suggest that you do it for your family. You do it for the next generation. People that you might not be able to see, your relatives, that you might not be able to see today, but because of what you are building today, they'll be able to say, Grandpa so and so, he built this. So this is what I'm inviting you to say, we can help you. So what are you waiting for? Jump on our website and we will engage with you on the call. Let's go back to our video. Right. So I come back and we put the package to the deal. For some of you who are here with us and you've inquired about deals, you all know that there is a pack which is the deal's details that will send you out whenever you have now requested for a deal, and it will showcase everything for you to make the decision of buying. And we then prepared this and we sent it out to our buyer. They were overseas, they got excited, they said, TJ, no problem, we want in. However, we don't have the 20 million in South Africa. We've got about 15 million rand in South Africa, and we will have to send some other money, and that will cause some delay. And within that, can you then facilitate with a good attorney so that they can manage this process for us, and hala hula fish paste and sorted that out for the buyer. Everything done. Contract, we then said out the offer to purchase, and offer to purchase was then signed, and from the buyer, which is making the offer of the 20 million that the seller said he is looking for, sent it to them, and we then had a conversation, a Skype conversation. Is old school. Some of you might not know what is Skype. Skype is basically the grandfather to Zoom or to grandfather to Google. Skype was like the in thing. I remember when I was dating, Skype, if you were overseas or anywhere else or out of the country, Skype was the thing to be seeing each other, right? So anyways, Skype it is. We jump on a Skype and we talk, and out of that, the buyer says he needs to consult with his wife. I'm like, oh, really? Wife? Why the wife now? We haven't been talking about the wife all along. Anyway, let it be. 1 week passed by, crickets. Second week, crickets. And I thought, well, let me give him a call, because the deal is stalling now, right? And now my buyer is saying, should I send the money, should I not? We haven't received from this guy. And we then says to them, hey, if you don't make up your mind in this next 7 days, this guy wants to move on. Now, my good friends, this is the difficult part. Well, the seller came back and he says he had a hard conversation with his wife and they are not selling anymore. Yeah. Yeah, you can feel the pain whilst I was on the phone. I had no words for this guy. Okay. I went on exactly like this. Like, I didn't know what to say. You came to me wanting to sell, right? But now you don't know to sell. My good friends, this is part of the education. So I want to educate you on a number of things. When a deal is ripe, and we showcase to you here on a Wednesday deal day, and many of us think that it's luck for us to get these deals. Sometimes this is what happens in the background. We go and chase out for deals, we get no's. I think for every one deal, I looked at average on our 2023-2024 pipeline, and for every deal that was successful to us, there was an average about 6 other deals that we put in offers and there were no's, but there was at large 10 deals that we went out to see and none of them were good. So when we're saying that we're at work, yeah, we are at work. Sometimes we lose money. There you are. We lose money here. Like I did say, let's assume that my rate for being in the office and delivering what I need to do is 2,000 Rand. And if we had to say 2,000 Rand times the 48 hours that I was not at home, that gives us just below 100 grand. So plus this other 10 grand on the cost of running around in that town, that's 110,000. So we've lost 110,000. So how much more have we lost? So obviously I am chasing this because this is a good potential when we close it. I got the confidence of getting out of the comfort of my home. I left my wife. This was winter, my friends. I've got a beautiful wife, and staying at home during winter is one of my priorities in life. And I left home. What gave me the confidence of leaving home? Because we had signed the contract. What gave me the confidence of us doing the due diligence? Because the money was there. So everything was tied in together. But we still lost the deal. These things do happen. It's part of the game. So, what are some of the lessons that we can share here? Lesson number 1. Don't be afraid to lose money as you are looking for opportunities. I lost this money. Right? But to me, it's not a loss. I call it business development. Because now I've got another contact that I didn't have before. Right? And I have an opportunity that I have vetted that I could have not been able to vet before. So I'm not focusing on the fact that it's a loss. It's not a loss to me. I have gained something. Right? So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is that I have engaged with my networker. My friend, remember the first friend that I said, the VIP? I've acted on something that they gave me. So next time when they send me something, they have the highest confidence that TJ will act on it. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, I have demonstrated to my VIP client that I'll fight for them until to the end, until they get the deal. Even though this deal didn't work out. But everything was lined up. So that's some good lessons, I think. But above that, I also learned to improve some of my processes in the process, and these things do happen. So now I've put in another clause to say when you bring a deal to us, and if you're wanting to sell, you will sell. And when you've given us the price, even if we were to get a higher price than this, you will sell. It's a clause now that we now have in our documentation that we didn't have before. So we have improved our documentation. So which means that I have learned something. So that means that when people come through to us and then they say they want to sell, they are not ducking and diving. Does it make sense? But my good friends, above all, the biggest lesson for me here, where a lot of us do not understand, is that behind the scene, there's many deals that we vet. And if you are wanting to be successful in this space, you need to be in the same spirit. Chasing more deals, vetting more deals, the cream one will pop up. And when it pop ups, you can close it. I look at every deal in the same spirit that is a good deal, we're going to close it. So until we see each other, my good friends, we lost a deal, but we gained so many things, and here we are talking about it. In the comments, what would you have done differently in your views? Yes, we can talk about the sorrows of the losing of the travels. Hey, I got to see my other business in Cape Town whilst I was there too. That's the other benefit. I got to see some of my friends that were there. I got to see an investor partner whilst I was also there for dinner, and that would have been an opportunity that I wouldn't have had I been staying here. Now, lots of things now can now intertwine, so it's not an all loss, my good friends. It can be a positive outcome. It is TJ. I'll check you out on the next video. Let me know what is your thoughts on this deal here, right here in our comments. We'll chat again soon. Cheers.